If you're trying to sell your home right now and you're holding out for yesterday's prices, listen up. You might be making a huge mistake that is going to cost you tens of thousands of dollars. And that's because in today's market, the longer you hold out, the less you're going to sell for. And that is not just my opinion. That is exactly what is playing out in real time in the Fraser Valley and Greater Vancouver. You see, right now we are in what's called a buyer's market. Inventory is piling up. Sellers are clinging on to those old price expectations, and buyers, well, they're just sitting back. They're sitting back waiting for prices to drop even further because they know that they more than likely will. And if you don't get ahead of the curve, you're going to be one of those sellers who refuses to price realistically today, only to be forced to sell for even less in the coming months. You know, I've seen this happen over and over again, and I don't want that to happen to you. So in this video, I'm going to break down exactly what is happening in the market right now. We're going to talk about why sellers who overprice are losing big time, and most importantly, what you should do instead if you actually want to sell your home for top dollar in this shifting market. All right, so let's get into it. If you're a seller right now, here is a reality that you need to accept. The market is not what it was 12 months ago, and it's not even what it was 3 months ago. Inventory levels right now are at their highest since about 2019. New listings are flooding the market at an alarming rate. But here's the kicker. Sales volumes, they continue to slip. And that means that we have way more homes for sale than buyers are willing to buy. And what happens when supply outweighs demand? Well, prices, they tend to drop. But instead of pricing their homes competitively, many sellers are digging in and they're stuck on what their neighbors sold for last spring or what their agent may have told them that they could have got 2 or even 3 years ago. But here's the cold, hard truth. The price that you think your home is worth, unfortunately, it really doesn't matter. You see, the only price that matters is what a buyer is willing to pay for it today. And if you don't price accordingly, you're going to be stuck sitting on the market while your competition, sellers who are willing to price realistically, actually get their home sold. So if you're thinking of selling, reach out to me. We can discuss a pricing strategy that will help you avoid the trap that far too many sellers today are falling into right now. Also, while you're at it, consider hitting that like button and subscribing so that you don't miss out on any of my other updates in this very fast changing market. All right, so this is the biggest mistake that I see sellers making right now. So sellers, they overprice their home, right? And then it sits on the market for weeks, maybe even months. And then finally they decide to lower their price. But by this time, well, the market has already moved lower. So let me explain a little bit about how this might play out. So let's say that you have a home and it's worth $1 million in today's market. That's the current market value. But you list it at 1.1 million, thinking that, you can find that one buyer who is willing to pay a premium. So it hits the MLS, buyers start looking at your listing, they see that it's overpriced, and they move on. So you get no offers. And so 30 days go by, let's say, and while you wait, the market has declined by, say, 1% per month. Now your home, you look at it and it's actually only worth $990,000, but you still have it priced at 1.1 million. And then another month goes by. And finally, you decide that you need to lower the price to, say, $1,049,000. But now the market has dropped again by another 1%. And well, your home is now worth $980,000. And so at this point, your listing is stale. Buyers have all moved on and you've already lost tens of thousands of dollars. And it's all because you were trying to squeeze a little bit of extra money out right from the start. And I can tell you this right now. This is happening to a ton of sellers in this current market. And so if you want to avoid that, you need to price your home right from day one, not weeks or months later when you're feeling that sense of desperation. You see, buyers are smart. They're smarter than what you might think. And the truth is, I hear it all the time from sellers. They say things like, well, let's just go ahead and list high and see what happens. Buyers can always make an offer, right? No, wrong. You see, buyers today, they are more informed than ever. They're watching the market very closely, and they have plenty of options to choose from. They don't need to overpay for your home when there's another one right down the street that is priced competitively. And let me tell you something else. Buyers don't like stale listings. If your home sits on the market for weeks, buyers assume that there is something wrong with it. Even if you lower your price later, they're going to wonder, why has this home been sitting on the market for so long? And then when you finally do get an offer, it's way lower than what you wanted because, you see, at this point, the buyer, they already know that you're desperate. So the bottom line is that you want to price your home correctly from the start, and that way you're going to sell it faster and for more money than you will if you try to overprice it and wait. And by the way, I know what some of you are thinking right now. You're thinking interest rates are coming down soon, right? And so that means prices are going to go back up. Well, let me just stop you right there. Yes, interest rates may start coming down again later this year, but rate cuts don't magically make home prices go up overnight. You see, historically, when rates come down, prices still decline for another 6 months or so. And the only time we see home prices actually rise is when rates stay stable for a long period and buyers actually start to regain confidence. So if you're holding out for a price bump the second that rates drop, that is a very dangerous game to play. So the bottom line is this: if you're selling your home in this market, you have two choices. Number one is that you price it realistically today, you get ahead of the curve, and you sell it while buyers are still active. Or you overprice it. It sits on the market and it ends up selling for even less in a few months when you finally realize that you've made a mistake. So again, I don't want you to make the same mistake that so many sellers are making right now. So if you are thinking about selling and you want a strategy to actually get your home sold for the best possible price in this market, go ahead and reach out to me today and we can have a chat. And also, before you go, check out this next video right now where I break down my proven strategy to sell your home in any market.